Hello students, today we are going to learn about the lesson God knows the truth but waits. Written by Leo Tolstoy, it is in our 12th standard English book. Leo Tolstoy born on 9th September 1828 and passed away on 20th November 1910 in a railway station in Astapur, Russia, like an abandoned man. He wrote many novels, one of them is War and Peace that was recommended by Jawaharlal Nehru to his daughter, our former Prime Minister, to his Indira Pradesh narrator, she called as Indira Gandhi. She was also our former Prime Minister of India. Now let's come to the story. Hero of the story, Ivan Dmitrich Askinov, belongs to the city Vladimir. He was a noble man and a good merchant. When he was set a journey, his wife came to him and said, "Please don't go this time, because I had a bad dream about you. In that dream, when you come home, your hair had become white." Askinov laughed at her and started his journey for his business. He did not listen to his wife. When he was halfway through the journey, he met another fellow merchant. On that night, both had supper on one table and stayed in an inn in neighboring rooms. Next day, Askinov got up before the sunrise and paid the owner of the inn and moved on. Askinov had the habit of wake before sunrise. When he crossed 26 miles, he took rest for breakfast and let his horse for grazing near an inn and took his guitar and played along with singing. Suddenly, he heard a bell sound of police officer and had a look. He saw an officer approaching him very fastly. When he reached Askinov, he started to ask questions a lot about last night. Askinov answered all the questions polite with surprise. Finally, he asked the police why all these questions had been asked. Police officer replied him, "Yesterday, the merchant who had dinner with you had been murdered by cut off his throat. You are the only person yesterday being with him and stayed on neighboring room. So we suspect you might be the murderer. We need you to check your package and his money, 20,000 silver, has been robbed." And started checking off Askinov's back. They found a knife with the blood stained inside the back of Askinov. When Askinov saw that, he became speechless. He knows that he had done nothing, but he had no clue to prove himself as innocent. The police arrested Askinov and put him in jail, which was in Siberia. Askinov had no clue what happened. He tried to explain what was happened, but no one is ready to hear him. Askinov was arrested in a very young age. His wife was a charming young lady. He had two kids one is very little and one is on his mother's breast. On his mother's breast means very infant. When his wife heard that his husband arrested for committed murder, she rushed to the prison to see him. When she saw him with chains, she faded for a long time. At the end of the conversation, Askinov asked his wife, "Do you suspect me?" And finally, they came to the decision that they must appeal to Tsar, the king of that time, but all the attempts went in vain. Years passed, 26 years rolled by. One day, about 60-year-old strong-looking man came to prison as a victim. He explained to all that he had done nothing, but he had been arrested for accused on stole a horse. In the meantime, Askinov was changed a lot. He had white hair, white beard, and everyone called him grandpa. Even prison officers are treated him as a sage. He became the judge over the prisoners. Everyone was respecting him. This man, new accused, Makov Simeonich, came to Grandpa and asked, "Why did you come to jail, though you are a good man?" Askino did not answer him, but other prisoners answered that question. When he heard the story, he got surprised. He did not say anything about his surprise. He answered, "Finally, we met here, lads." Lads means friends, brothers. When he heard these words, Askinov got surprised and asked Simeonich, "Why do you know what happened?" And the conversation went on. Finally, Simeonich says, "If you laid a knife in someone's back, you are not the culprit, he is." When Askinov heard this, he got angry and his hands shook off by tremble. Finally, the cat came out of the bag. Askinov understand who was the murderer, but still Simeonich don't know. On the night, Askinov heard something and a man approaching him from dark. He was Simeonich. He said, "Move aside, Grandpa. We were digging a tunnel that leads to the main road. We were on the move. Come with us and enjoy your freedom. You won't be a prisoner anymore." But Askinov said, "I have no wish to be free anymore." Before, on that night, that day's afternoon, Askinov asked about the village Vladimir and inquired about Askinov's. Simeonich answered they were being wealthy. On dreaming of his family, Askinov was disturbed by Simeonich, who called him to come with him. Askinov had no answer to his kids, so he did not want to escape. Next day, on the parade, soldiers found that someone is missing and found the tunnel. They got the escaped gang too. They were punished severely, but no one betrayed Simeonich. The judge came to Askinov and asked him to say the truth. Askinov replied after a long pause, "I don't know anything about this. If you want to punish me for this answer, go ahead. I'm all yours." Simeonich went to the cell of Askinov. He asked him, "Why did you not betray me?" Askinov replied, "Why should I betray you? What is the use of that? Before 26 years you killed a man and hid your knife inside my back. I might be worse than you, so I spent 26 long years in a jail so that I did not betray you." On hearing this, Simeonich started crying. He confessed his guilty, though Askinov refused. On hearing of the confession, everybody became sad for Askinov, and the procedure began. On that day night, Askinov slept very peacefully. In the morning, the order received to set free of Askinov, but he was already free from this world. He was passed away. This is a story. This is the moral we can understand from this story. If we have no evidence to prove ourselves as innocent, we have to be in the conditions as bad. So, friends, we have to understand the story as this way. Though Askinov was innocent, he spent 26 long years in the jail. But the person who did the murder, he was finally come to the jail for the accusation what he did not done. So, God knows the truth, but waits. We have to wait for the God's justice. Thank you.